The other day in the last What the Fuck Tuesday advice column, I was sharing my thought that it's fruitless for young women they're in a dating relationship, right? And they go to the guy, they want something. They want more commitment. They want more time. They want the relationship to be defined. They want to have some kind of label. They want these things. They know this is what they want, so they feel secure. They know where the relationship is headed, what they mean to the guy. These issues are answered. But what they do is go to the man and put all the responsibility on him, put all their personal power, their life, and everything else in his hands with one of two questions. Either you ask him, what are we? Or you ask him, where is this going? Now, I have a problem with that, and several women have sent me emails to ask, well, what's wrong with asking that? I always ask guys that. And I have to say, I have never asked a man that. What I do is I feel like I'm not going to let them decide what my life is like. You don't get to tell me what anything is. I decide that. So I know that this is what I want, right? So if you have a guy in your life and you're sharing your body, some of you are sharing your homes, money, you having kids with them, all kind of stuff is going on. And you still don't feel secure about what's happening in the relationship. It's like you're scared to tell him what you want or something. So you just kind of go around being battered around like a leaf in the wind, letting him determine that. My approach is to tell them, okay, by the time, and I do this early. If I can see that this is a guy that, is something that I want to investigate further. Of course, most of them don't make it this far, but just say, we're around the 2-month mark or something. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. This might, could be something. So I go to him and I say, okay, we've been dealing with each other for this amount of time here. And I'm thinking that, I would like to spend more time with you and have something that's more serious where we focus only on each other and try to see where this can go. Are you in line with that way of thinking? Now, this does two things. Number one, you take your power back because you are a grown woman. So you are supposed to be telling people what it is that you want. You don't leave them guessing. You don't leave it in the dark, and you don't throw it up like a deck of cards, play a 52 card pickup trying to figure out which one is the Queen of Hearts. That's not how you do that. So you tell him, this is what I want. This is my timeline. This is what would make me happy. This is what would make me feel secure. And this is where you're going to get the best from me. If I know that this is, this is a agreed upon plan. This is what we're going to do. Now, two things can happen. Well, actually three. One, he can say, I haven't arrived there yet. I'm not really sure. Let's just see how it goes. Let's, why you got to put pressure on me? Why we got to have something defined? Why can't you just go with the flow? That's the typical response. Now, if you got a man, you've been spending 2-3 months with him and he, and he comes at you like that, your best bet would be to cut him loose because he's not serious. Every single man that I have ever met that talked to, related to all of this, who was with a woman that he was serious about, he knew almost right away, almost immediately, almost from the day he met her or shortly thereafter, that it was going to be something more than just somebody to kick it with. They know that, okay? So if he's giving you some kind of jive, and you've been spending all this time with him, like I said, and he gives you that jive time response where he wants to like keep you on the hook, but not really make a commitment, the one that you want, that is when you as a grown woman say, well, I can see that we're on a different timeline here and we're on a different page. I don't want to spend months and months and years of my life with somebody who's not sure about me. I think after all of this time together, all these conversations that we've had, the weekends we spent together, you as a 30, 40, whatever year old dude, 28, whatever he is, what kind of woman I am. If this is something that you want, if we're a good match and if we can move forward. You already know this. So to me, anything that you say that's a stall tactic, it's just meant to try to keep me on a string while you investigate other stuff, and I don't want to do that. So it's been nice knowing you, and I'm out. Okay, that's point one. And like I said, this is a very typical and very common response. The second thing is that he will sit down and he will say, well, I was kind of thinking about that, but I don't know if I'm really, ready to jump in that far. And then he'll offer you a compromise. He'll say, but I won't see anybody else. I really already faded everybody else out. But, you're talking about, like really making a commitment, and I'm not quite there yet. Now when he says that, then you have a decision to make. Because maybe you're talking about, I don't know, moving in together. Maybe you want to become engaged. Maybe you want, I don't know, whatever it is you want. And maybe his timeline is just slightly different. He wants to do those things, but he wants to feel that he has enough money in the bank, that he wants to, be stable in his job. He just got it 6 months ago. He hasn't even made probation yet. Maybe he's, about to finish up his master's degree. He wants to wait till he graduates. Okay, when a guy in this second option, he will give you a tangible, firm, well thought out reason with time limits and parameters on it. Okay, so then you again have a decision to make. Do you want to wait for that? Because it could be a few weeks, it could be a few months, it could be years. You have to decide if you want to invest that kind of time and energy in a maybe. That's going to be strictly your decision. I can't tell you that because a lot of it's going to depend on your age, your position in life, your career status, how your money, all kinds of things are going to impact that decision, whether you decide to continue with this guy for the duration of this, whatever it is, this project that he's trying to clean up and finish up, or if you just going to deuce out and go start over with someone else. That's your decision. Now, the third option is you say, well, this is what I want. This is my timeline. Are you prepared to be a part of my life in this way? So you're telling what you want, right? You're not asking his permission, but he does have, as the total different person from you, the right to say that it's not what he's interested in. Now, a lot of women are afraid to do this. Why y'all is afraid? Because you're scared he's going to say, nah, I'm not interested in that. I'm not trying to be your man. We just having a good time. We just kicking it. We just that. See, you don't want to hear that, because what you want is for him to say, oh my God, yes, I was thinking the same thing. You're the woman I've been looking for my entire life. I just can't believe that I found you. I'm so blessed. It's just someone. That's what you want to hear, like a movie script. But maybe he likes you, I guess, but he's not like in love or nothing, and he doesn't want to be with you like that. He likes you, but not the way that you want him to like you. So he keeps you around for companionship. He keeps you around for some, intimacies. He keeps you around because you're fun and you make him laugh, and maybe you're a good cook and you guys actually get along. But he knows that you don't spark his heart the way that he's looking for the woman he wants to be with and marry and have children with and stuff. He wants to feel a certain way about her, and you and he don't have that kind of connection. Okay, but ladies, don't be afraid to do it, because to ask this question, because make this statement and then ask him, are you on board with that? Because of the fact that otherwise you're gonna be in limbo. You're going to remember my meme of not wasting your time? I think I'll add it to here just to remind people. But it's like you can't waste months or years of your life, sometimes even decades, in a situation where a guy is trying to, quote, get ready. And you keep giving him more time and more time and more time and more time. And then he just never gets ready. He just stringing you along. And in the meantime, all your youth and all your beauty and all your fertility go away while he's stringing you along and playing these silly games. You have to make a decision about what you want for your life, and then you stick to it. That's all there is to it. It doesn't require his permission. What it requires is his agreement to participate or not. You hold the cards for where you want your life to go. You're going to get where you want to go, and it'll either be with him or without him. It'll be with somebody, but it can be either with him or without him, and then it'll be with someone else, someone who's ready to hit the ground running and is on your same page and wants what you want out of life and out of a relationship. Yes, it's risky. Yes, you risk getting your feelings hurt. I understand that. But isn't it better to get your feelings hurt in the short term after 2 or 3 months than after 2 or 3 years, after a kid or two, after you help buy a house with him, and then all of a sudden you finally get the courage to ask the question, and then, to tell him what you wanted and ask him if he wants to move forward the way you want to, and then he says no? That's why, to me, it's like, it's better to find that out like within just a few weeks. You cool? Is everything going well? You got any problems? What's happening? Communication, and then paying attention to, a lot of times you don't even need to get to that point, because if you pay attention to how he's treating you and how the attention he's paying and the investment that he's making in the relationship as it develops, you will already know the answer to this issue. You can see, well, this is what you want, but you see that on his side, the level of advancement that you would require in order to arrive at that kind of conclusion where you two are going to hit the ground running and move forward, you already know he's not on that page. You can see it by the way he dips and dabs. He has, his profiles up online. He's got other women calling him. He's calling other women. He cancels on dates at the last minute. He shows up late all the time. There's all kind of like tricky little interesting things happening that indicate that this man is not committed to you at all and has no interest in it. So sometimes, I think women, you go to him with this, but what are we? And is this, where's this going? And all this stuff, when you already answered that question, it's going down the toilet. It's circling like a turd. That's what it's doing. So it's like, to me, this is a non-issue. It's something that a grown woman would do. She will handle her business. And you don't go asking a man like a little kid, can I go out to play? And all that's, to me, that's how it sounds. Like, what are we? It's like, mommy, can I go out inside and play? Can I go play with Ricky? And, this, you don't ask him. You say, look, this is what I want. This is where I want to go. And this is how, the time frame under which I want to arrive there. Are you on board? Are you on my train with me? If you're not, then, I'm about to hit this station and go in another direction. That's all. So that's my 2 cents on that. I hope that answers everyone's questions. And the women who, sent me the emails and want a little bit more clarification. The format for What the Fuck Tuesday doesn't really allow for super deep explanations. That answer was just a part of that discussion, rather, was just a part of the answer to that letter writer's question. But this goes into more detail, and I hope it explains it in a little bit better, so you can change your approach when you're in a relationship with a guy. Approach him from a position of power and decisiveness, not like a little kid begging for somebody to love you. All right, this is Deb Cooper signing out. See you guys real soon.